Deep in a quiet forest, where the trees whispered secrets and the wind carried forgotten stories, there lived two children named Hansel and Gretel. They lived with their father in a small wooden cottage at the edge of the forest. Their life was simple, but it was not easy. Food was often scarce, and each day brought new worries. Hansel was clever and observant. He noticed things others did not. Gretel was gentle and kind, but she had a quiet strength inside her. They loved their father deeply, and he loved them too, but he struggled to provide enough for everyone. As winter approached, the situation became worse. The cupboards grew emptier, and the cold nights felt longer. Their stepmother became increasingly anxious. She would stare out of the window for long periods, thinking about their future. One night, when the house was silent and the wind rustled outside, Hansel and Gretel overheard their stepmother speaking to their father.
We don't have enough food. Not for all of us.
They are just children.
If they stay, we will all starve.
Her father sounded heartbroken, but he did not know what to do. Hansel lay awake, thinking carefully. When everything became quiet again, he slipped out of bed and quietly stepped outside. The moon was bright, lighting up the ground. He found small white pebbles shining like tiny stars and filled his pockets with them.
The next morning, their stepmother told them they would go into the forest to gather wood. As they walked deeper and deeper into the forest, Hansel slowly dropped the pebbles along the path without anyone noticing. After a long walk, they reached a clearing. Their stepmother told them to stay there and wait, while she and their father went to gather wood. The children sat and waited, but as time passed, it became clear that no one was coming back. Gretel began to feel afraid. The forest seemed larger and darker than ever before. The sounds of birds and rustling leaves felt unfamiliar and unsettling. As night fell, Hansel told Gretel not to worry. When the moon rose high in the sky, its light reflected on the pebbles he had dropped. One by one, they followed the shining trail. Step by step, they walked through the forest until they finally reached their home.
My children, I thought I lost you.
Their father was overjoyed to see them. He hugged them tightly and promised never to let anything happen to them again. But their stepmother was not pleased, and as the days passed, the food continued to run out. Soon, the same plan was made again. This time, Hansel could not gather pebbles because the door was locked. Instead, he took pieces of bread. As they walked into the forest once more, he dropped crumbs behind them, hoping to mark the way home. But the forest was full of birds, and as soon as the crumbs fell, they were quickly eaten. By the time Hansel and Gretel tried to return, there was no path left to follow.
Father! Where are you?
They wandered through the forest, calling out for their father, but no one answered.
Gretel, I think we're lost. Every path looks the same. Which way? I don't know.
The trees seemed endless, and every direction looked the same. Day turned into night, and night turned into day again. They grew tired and hungry. Their feet hurt from walking, and their voices became weak. Still, they kept moving, hoping to find a way out. On the third day, when they felt they could walk no further, they saw a small white bird. It sat on a branch and sang a beautiful, gentle song. The children felt a strange sense of comfort and decided to follow it. The bird flew ahead, stopping from time to time as if waiting for them. Eventually, it led them to a clearing where something extraordinary stood before them. There was a small house made entirely of sweets. The walls were made of gingerbread, the roof was covered in chocolate, and the windows were made of sugar. Everything looked bright and inviting. Hansel and Gretel, overcome with hunger, approached the house. Hansel broke off a small piece and tasted it. It was delicious. Soon they both began eating pieces of the house.
This is delicious.
As they did, a voice called out from inside.
Who is nibbling at my house?
Did you hear that?
The door slowly opened and an old woman stepped out. She looked kind and gentle. She smiled warmly at the children and invited them inside. "You must be hungry," she said. "Come in, and I will take care of you." The children hesitated for a moment, but the warmth and the smell of food drew them in. Inside, the house was cozy and filled with delicious meals. They were given soft beds and warm blankets. For the first time in many days, they felt safe. But this feeling did not last. That night, Gretel woke up and saw the old woman watching Hansel in a strange way. Her expression was no longer kind. The next morning, the truth was revealed. The old woman was a witch. She locked Hansel in a cage and told Gretel that she would make him fat before eating him. Gretel was forced to cook and clean, while Hansel was fed large meals every day. The witch would check Hansel's finger to see if he had gained weight, but Hansel tricked her. Each time, he gave her a small bone instead of his finger. The witch's eyesight was poor, and she believed he was still too thin.
Days passed, then weeks. The witch grew impatient. Finally, she decided she would wait no longer. She told Gretel to prepare the oven. Gretel's heart was filled with fear, but she knew she had to be brave. When the oven was ready, the witch told her to check if it was hot enough. Gretel pretended not to understand. "I don't know how to check it," she said. The witch became angry and pushed past her. "Move aside," she said. As the witch leaned forward to look inside the oven, Gretel gathered all her courage and pushed her in. Then she quickly shut the door. The witch cried out, but it was too late. Gretel ran to Hansel and unlocked the cage. They held each other tightly, relieved that it was over. They searched the house and found treasures hidden inside: gold, jewels, and precious stones. They took what they could carry and left the house behind. As they walked through the forest again, it no longer felt as dark or frightening. Eventually, they came across a river. A kind white duck helped them cross to the other side. Not long after, they began to recognize the trees and the path. At last, they reached their home. Their father was overwhelmed with joy when he saw them. He embraced them with tears in his eyes. He told them how much he had missed them and how he had searched for them. Their stepmother was gone, and she would not trouble them again. Hansel and Gretel showed their father the treasure they had brought. With it, they were able to live comfortably and never worry about food again. From that day on, they stayed together, stronger than before. They had faced the darkest forest and survived. And even when the wind whispered through the trees, it no longer sounded frightening, but gentle, like a reminder that they had found their way home.